Okay, so now let's proceed to limits at infinity. Limits at infinity are used to describe the behavior of functions as the independent variable increases or decreases without bound. If a function approaches a numerical value L, in either of these situations, write the limit of x as x approaches positive or negative infinity, and f of x is said to have a horizontal asymptote at y equals L. A function may have different horizontal asymptotes in each direction, have a horizontal asymptote in one direction only, or have no horizontal asymptotes. So now here are the examples of limits at infinity.
Good day everyone. Today we'll be tackling about limits of infinity. So for our first example, we will do lim x parenthesis x minus x squared plus 1. To start, we will multiply lim x minus square root of x squared plus 1. So, lim x minus squared x squared plus 1, then x plus x squared plus 1, x squared plus 1. So the answer will be that lim x minus x squared plus 1 over x plus x squared plus 1, and then x squared plus 1. So the answer for that given will be x plus square root of x squared plus 1. And the answer will be lim x to infinity negative x over x plus square root of x. So that will be the final answer. For the second example, we will do the negative infinity. So for the first step, what we will do is lim x to negative infinity over 9 x squared plus 2x minus 5 over negative square root of 9x squared. And when we evaluate that first example, we will do is lim x to negative infinity nine x squared plus 2x minus 5 over 9x squared. Then, negative lim x to negative infinity will be 9 plus 2x plus 5x squared over 9. And the last, it will be 9 plus 0 minus 0 over 9, and the answer will be negative 1. So that's it in solving for negative infinity.
Hi everyone, I'm Bianca Laurado, and I will be discussing the lesson about evaluating limits through graphs. So, how can we use a graph to find a function's limit? Data is represented visually through graphs. Instead of a series of individual values, they present the big picture. We can simplify a lot of difficult figures by using graphs. Suppose that function f of x is defined when x is near c. If f of x gets closer to a real number L, as x gets closer to c, both from left and right of c, then we can say that the limit of f of x as x approaches c is equals to L. This is written as, in this case, we can say that the limit exists. The number c may or may not be in the domain of the function f of x. So, how can we identify the limit of a function when using its graph? So first, substitute the value of c to the x of the function. Then, solve the equation to get the limit of the function. So, these are the examples to be discussed by Joshua Biglang Awa.
Hello guys, I'm Joshua Biglang Awa, and for our first example is the limit of f of x as x approaches the 3 is equals to x plus 2 times 3x minus 1. So ang gagawin natin dito is isa-substitute lang natin yung value ng 3 sa mga x na nasa equation. So magiging 3 plus 2 times 3 times 3 minus 1. Then, ipag-add lang natin yung 3 plus 2, tapos ipag-multiply lang natin yung 3 times 3. So, ang kakalabasan is 5 times 9 minus 1. After that, ima-minus mo lang yung 9 and 1, so magiging 5 times 8. Lastly, ipag-multiply lang natin yung 5 and 8. So, ang limit ng function ng graph na to is equals to 40. So, ganun lang kasimple. And para malaman natin kung tama yung sagot na nakuha natin, i-check lang natin siya gamit yung Desmos. So, ilalagay lang natin yung equation sa Desmos, pati na yung value ng x, tapos malalaman na natin kung tama ba yung nakuha nating limit. So, magbibigay pa ako ng isa pang example para mas maintindihan natin yung lesson. So, for our next example is the limit of f of x as x approaches to 5 is equals to 4x plus 1 over 2x minus 3. So, fa-follow lang ulit natin yung ginawa natin kanina. Isa-substitute lang ulit natin yung 5 sa mga x na nakalagay sa equation. So, magiging 4 times 5 plus 1 over 2 times 5 minus 3. So, ipagmumultiply lang natin yung 4 and 5 tapos yung 2 and 5. So, ang kakalabasan is 20 plus 1 over 10 minus 3. Next is ipag-add and subtract lang natin silang dalawa. So, 20 plus 1 is equals to 21 and 10 minus 3 is equals to 7. Kaya, magiging 21 over 7. I-divide natin yung 21 sa 7. So, ang limit ng function ng graph na ito is equals to 3. Para malaman natin ulit kung tama yung sagot natin, gagamitin ulit natin yung Desmos para mas make sure natin kung tama ba yung limit ng equation.
So yan, pag-uusapan natin ngayon dito ay kung paano mag-solve ng derivative by its definition. Let f be a function which is defined at each number x in some open interval a, b. The derivative of f at x denoted by f prime of x is given by the formula. F prime of x is equal to the limit of our function f of x plus h minus yung given function natin na f of x all over h as h approaches 0. Etong f of x madali lang makuha yung value kasi ito yung given natin. Ang medyo kailangan lang natin i-solve using this formula is this f of x plus h. Ibig sabihin, kukuhanin natin itong x plus h as our input, lahat ng value ng x, papalitan natin ng x plus h. Then we simplify. We solve for the value nung ating limit para makuha natin yung derivative of our given function, which is also a function. So let us have our first example here. We have here f of x is equal to 2x plus 5. Kukuhanin natin yung derivative nito by its definition. So let us use the formula. Dito kukopyahin lang natin. We have f prime of x is equal to the limit of our function of x plus h minus f of x all over h as our h approaches 0. So, ito yung gagamitin nating formula. Now, let us work on this. First, kukuhanin natin yung f of x plus h. This is equal to the limit of our function. Lahat ng x natin dito sa given function na 2x plus 5, papalitan lang natin ng x plus h. Since we are given with this will become 2 times yung x ay gagawin nating x plus h. So, this will become x plus h. Tapos, yung function, meron pa tayong plus 5. And this is minus yung given function natin, our f of x, that is 2x plus 5. So, we write it down. Lagyan lang natin ng group symbols kasi nagsusubtract tayo ng buong function natin na f of x. So, this is just equal to 2x plus 5. And then, according to the formula, ito na yung f of x plus h natin. Ito yung given natin na f of x, then this is all over our denominator. That is h as h approaches 0, then simplify na lang natin yung nasa numerator muna. So, this is equal to the limit of this distribute. So, this is equal to the limit of this. Distribute natin si 2 times x, that is just equal to 2x. Tapos, 2 times h is equal to 2h. And then, we have 5 here. Tapos, need natin mag-ingat dito kasi we are subtracting dun sa buong function natin. This is a common error na ginagawa ay minus 2x pero hindi binabago yung sign. Since we are getting the difference dito sa buong function, babaguhin natin yung sign nila. So this will become minus 2x, tapos yung positive 5 plus 5, this will become minus 5, and then this is all over our denominator. That is h, as our h approaches 0, then we simplify. Ano ba yung kayan sa numerator? We have 2x minus 2x, this will become 0. 5 minus 5, this will become 0. Ano yung natira? We have this. This is equal to the limit of our function numerator is just 2h. Denominator is just h as approaches 0. Then we perform our division. H divided by h, that is just equal to 1. Then we will be left with the limit. We write down limit of our 2 as h approaches 0, and then limit of a constant. Kahit saan pa tayong nag-a-approach, ang sagot lang natin is our constant by apply our limit theorem. So our f prime of x, that is just equal to our value here, the limit that is equal to 2. This is the derivative of our function 2x plus 5.
So, as we going to proceed, we will gonna solve another problem that will help us teach us how to find the derivatives. So, for the problem number 2, f of x is equals to x squared plus 3x. To find its derivative, we're gonna use the formula f prime of x is equals to limit of f, the function x, plus h minus function x all over h as h approaches 0. So, the next step is yung lahat ng x ipapalitan natin ng given. So, ang lalabas is limit of x plus h squared, since squared yung x, plus 3x plus h, since nga yun yung function. Tapos, ang susunod is yung buong function na x squared minus plus 3x, yung bale, ang magiging niya na is limit of x plus h squared plus 3 times x plus h minus x squared plus 3x all over h as h approaches 0. Okay? So, next natin is yung i-evaluate na natin sila. So, ang mangyayari is limit of x squared plus 2xh plus h squared plus 3x plus 3h minus x squared minus 3x. Since negative times positive, magiging negative. All over h as h approaches 0. Ang next step is isi-simplify na natin siya ng ang mangyayari sa kanya is 2xh plus h squared plus 3h. Since pwede natin i-cancel si x squared at 3x kasi meron tayong parehas ng value nun. So, bale, ang magiging value na lang, ang matitira na lang sa atin is 2xh plus h squared plus 3h all over h as h approaches 0. This value can be also we can evaluate it as well pa. So, para mas lumit yung value niya and mas madali natin siyang mahahanap yung derivative, we can evaluate it through h kasi ang dami nating h dito. So, ang mangyayari sa kanya is h times 2x plus h plus 3, since magka-cancel na tayo ng h all over h
as h approaches 0. So, after nyan, we can cancel also h pa. So, ang mangyayari na lang sa kanya is the limit of 2x plus 3 plus h as h approaches 0. Since we can, and to finally find out the value and the derivative of this problem, we can simplify it to 2x plus 3 plus 0 since ang value ng h is 0. So, ang magiging derivative na lang niya is f of prime of x is equals to 2x plus 3. So, yun yung derivative ng f of x is equals to x squared plus 3x.